Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, and today we will be reviewing Shehar Lakhot. Now, this is a web series available on Prime and it has 8 episodes in it. Now, I will be walking through the analysis, my review, the acting performances, direction, story, and ultimately my conclusion on how Shehar Lakhot fared according to me. So stay tuned for that. Lakhot. Now, here's the plot of this show. So, it's a crime thriller and a dark comedy. There is a young man who is part of a gang based in Gurgaon, and his boss sends him to a small town called Lakhot, which is a fictional area in Rajasthan. And this young man is reluctant to go in the first place because he has some past history associated with it, but he goes there because his boss is sending him to control and manage a protest that is undergoing at a marble site in that town, Lakhot. So he ends up going there, and a series of events unfold. Ultimately, he gets involved with the police again, and he has to prove his innocence and return home back to Gurgaon. So that is the high level plot of Shehar Lakhot. Now let's get into the review and analysis section. Now, the creators Devika Bhagat and Navdeep Singh have tried to create this quirky thriller, and it is all about figuring out a lot of crime, drama, politics that's going to unfold in this particular show, Shehar Lakhot. And a lot of advertising and marketing has been done from Shehar Lakhot, which I was a little bit surprised, because what I'm going to talk to you, and if you stick around till the end, you will definitely see nuances in this show. So I happened to be on NDTV and read the review of the show, and that got me excited about Shehar Lakhot. But clearly, not enough advertising or marketing was spent on this. And when you go on Prime, someone like me, I didn't even see it, so I had to find this show and to watch it. But it promises a flavor of surprise. There are a lot of twists and turns in Shehar Lakhot. And clearly, I mean, the lead protagonist, who is Priyanshu, Painyuli, who goes by the name of Dave Tomer, and he starts his journey. He goes to Lakhot, and as he gets his boss's white SUV, you can see he's traversing through different fields, mountainous region. You're also seeing a signboard of Lakhot, which is actually a fictional town. So the producers, the set designers, have done a good job of having Lakhot displayed in different areas. And he ultimately reaches Lakhot. So that's how the story has just started. Now, why is Dave reluctant to go to Lakhot is because there is some past trauma associated. His mom died because of something that he did as a kid, and he got involved into some illegal, nefarious activities. He was in prison. He got out of it. And of course, his family sort of disowned him. So now he's going back into that same place, which is going to remind him of all these occurrences and all the things that happened in the past. So he's reluctant, but ultimately, he ends up in Lakhot. The first thing he does is that he goes to his dad's office, which is, a chartered accounting practice. His elder brother is also working there, but there is some sort of scuffle and argument that happens outside their office. And ultimately, they figures out that his brother Karav is into money laundering business, and that's angle or a direction to the story that starts to unfold. And as they are arguing and fighting outside, there comes this character Manu Rishi Chadda. He's a corrupt cop there, all manipulated by the local businessmen. And of course, he enters and he tries to give a hard time to Dev because he knows the history that Dev was arrested and then he was let go, and now he's just giving warning to Dev to just mind his own business and not mingle into or harass his brother or family. And as Dev is settling his feet back into this town, Lakhot. Of course, he gets in touch with the protagonist played by Chandan Roy Sanyal. He is the owner of the palace, and there is a lot of illegal prostitution activities happening. So one after the other, there are a lot of things that Dev is trying to now discover upon his return to Lakhot. And one night he follows his brother. I talked about that he discovers that his brother is doing some kind of money laundering activities with someone, and his white SUV gets stolen because drama that unfolds, someone just escapes with his car. So then now Dev's boss is giving him a hard time. He's constantly checking on the status of his car. So a lot of is happening here. There's not a dull moment in Shehar Lakhot. From the start that Priyanshu or Dev enters Lakhot, and as I just talked about, a series of events are happening, whether it is relationship with his family, whether it is with the new drug lord who is actually running this drug business under the cover of a marble site where the protest is happening, and Dev has gone to control and manage it. So a lot of things have started to unfold, and I think you start to see the plot trying to thicken and go deeper and deeper. So that intrigues you about Lakhot. I mean, this is not only this is a comical, it's a serious drama also, and hence it is a dark comedy. You will see like Manu Rishi Chadda, who is a corrupt cop, and he of course wants to get his cut from the owner of the palace. He knows his ways out. You're seeing a lot of politicians also making their way into the palace because they're also involved into prostitution, or they want some kind of favor. So Shehar Lakhot is definitely a web of politics, cheating, lies. There's hunky dory. There's a lot of stuff going on, which as an audience you may think that you may have seen something like this in the past, but there is some freshness in Shehar Lakhot, and I think it is all those characters that are coming out of the grave. I talked about Dev, then I talked about the palace, Manu Rishi Chadda, his Dev's brother, his father, Dev's sister-in-law. So one after the other, you will start to see, very a blend of interesting people and characters trying to shape the story as it unfolds. And to add to that, Dev is now back. He wants to meet his ex-girlfriend, so the flame is still there, and he gets along with his ex-girlfriend, and of course they click again. So that aspect is also there. Now he wants to know what his girlfriend has been up to, and the girlfriend is cryptic. She's not going to tell what exactly she's doing, is because she is also part of the prostitution ring. So one after the other, there are moments which will shock you, and you will be in disbelief, and you kind of feel sorry for Dev because he comes back home after a very long time, and all he is getting is bad news, sad news one after the other. And here he is coming to the marble site to make sure that the protest is taken care of. And there are a lot of emotions involved in Shehar Lakhot. I mean, now you're going from Delhi to Rajasthan, which is a different culture, different dialect. People bend down and they say hukum. You start to feel that, a very palatial feel, especially in the character of Chandan Roy Sanyal. He's the owner of the palace. So, of course, his dress up, his etiquettes, his manners are very different from, although he is a drug lord, but see some fresh breath of air, in this particular show. So there are emotions involved. Characters are interesting. Chandan Roy, this is a guy who is leading the protest for the farmers on the side. They don't want the drug lord to mine more marbles, but ultimately he gets killed by Manu Rishi Chadda. And there is also a footage that is available on the server of the palace where all the illegal activities are happening, prostitution. So that is also a new angle where Dev is now trying to get access to the footage, and he can blackmail a lot of different people. But things don't go well because one of the IPS officers, who is an honest lady, Kubra Syed, she is trying to use that footage to blackmail a lot of people, but people are getting getting killed because of that. So she ultimately is takes charge because Manu Rishi Chadha gets killed as well. So here we go, a guy who's corrupt cop mixes with the drug lord, but one after the other, you never know who's gonna get killed, and the story just starts to take different turns. Maybe for good, that's for you to decide. But I felt like there were definitely moments where aha, oh wow, what is going on. Dave's girlfriend also has a twist. She's escaping with a lot of the laundering money with Dave's brother, and you would never know that unless and until you watch the show. So I think the plot is definitely interesting. It's intriguing. And before I talked about the review overall, the analysis part, but there's one thing also that I want to talk about is the soundtrack. And I usually do this in all my videos, is that when you watch a show, the intro and the outro music to me is also very important because it sets the stage. And this is an animated intro. It shows all the characters in an animated way, who's getting killed, some falling from the balcony, the chase, police chases and all that. So it really, you're waiting one after the other. When is this going to happen? And the music is pretty decent to have it. And I watched all the and heard all the sound intro and as well as outro. I really liked it. So, and then going back to the review, as I talked about, so this is an interesting story. I mean, the director has definitely tried to blend in emotions, drama, characters, a plot which is not just a thriller. This is a dark comedy. It's sometimes you feel, is this really, does anyone really care someone got killed? It seems like a little bit comedy. Someone gets killed or someone acquires more power. Sometimes Dave is just sitting in the jail because he is now in a conspiracy where he is responsible for his brother's death. His brother has not died, but the cops are trying to frame him, so he goes into the jail. But it seems like it's like nothing really has happened, and life is moving on. When the brother supposedly who is dead, but he's not dead, Dave goes to the office and meets his sister-in-law, and his sister-in-law has some feelings for him. But work is going on. The receptionist at the office is an interesting character. So there's a lot going on to process, but it is digestible. It's not like you lose your mind over this is too much. It is not overwhelming. I think the pace and the intensity of the story is pretty good, and the actors to me did a good job. So going back to the acting performances now. So Priyanshu Periwala, so he of course does a great job. The first time I saw him on cinema was in Bhavesh Joshi, and he was with Harshvardhan Kapoor, but I really liked his role. I felt like he has a lot of talent and potential that he can offer to Bollywood and the film industry. So there is this fresh breath of air, like his talent, his demeanor, his acting. Even though he seemed indifferent sometimes in the movies, there were times when he was concerned for the family. So there are different shades of his acting that you get to see. I mean, he's blended into that character pretty well, and how is he's balancing with his boss who's giving a hard time, and also with the new things that are unfolding. He does it pretty well, and giving him company is Shruti Menon, his past ex-girlfriend. I thought her acting was pretty good as well. I mean, she's the lead prostitute, but her persona, her personality, it did fit well with the role that she was performing. Cinematography is not out of the ordinary. I think it is just something that you should expect. I mean, you're going from one place to the other. There are different shots of the palace, of the region, but nothing really stood out to me. It was just okay for me. So I would say the storyline, I mean, this is a hidden gem. Not a lot of people have talked about Shehar Lakhot, and I was definitely impressed by the plot and the direction and also how things were unfolding, how the characters felt like they belonged in the story. So that was something also that was very good for me. The set here is based in Rajasthan. I mean, of course, there's a marble site, and this set, which is the palace, reminded me of the movie Eklavya. This is exactly the same hotel where Amitabh Bachchan, Jackie Shroff, Saif Ali Khan, where that movie was played. And it's a beautiful hotel. I mean, of course, there are different, it's such a huge palace, so much is going on, and you get to see different aspects. Sometimes you're in a small hut, small house village, sometimes you're in a big palace. So you see a blend of different things, and I thought the location seemed pretty apt. Editing was okay. In my opinion, there could be some scenes, for example, the scenes between Dev and his girlfriend, which are not necessary. I mean, you can just kind of get the point quickly. So there is a tendency to, sometimes overstretch in this movie with too many dialogues and all that. I mean, the screenplay is decent, but there were areas where I felt this could be compressed. So here's my conclusion, rating, and why you should be watching Shehar Lakhot. So if you're a fan of dark humor or dark comedy, and also if you like underdogs, this is a show for you. I mean, this doesn't have very big names, besides, Priyanshu, Kubra, Manu Rishi Chadda. I mean, these are phenomenal actors, and they blended pretty well, and the story is great to me. So if you are interested in that kind of a genre, you want to give a chance to underdogs, see their performance, this could be the show that you want to see. Of course, you can't see it with your kids. I mean, so you have to keep that in mind. But it definitely is. If I had to pick a new series out of 2023 that stood out for me, at least in the top 5 list of last year, Shehar Lakhot would be the one. And I think the name of the show was also very interesting. It piqued my interest because Lakhot doesn't really exist, fictional name. So the creators also wanted to play around with it, but it's a fun watching show, so you have to give it your time, and you're gonna enjoy it, given it's a dark comedy, and also it's an underdog, and the acting performance were decent. I mean, this is also a story that has a concoction of where politics, lies, corruption, there's love, everything is mixed in this. So it adds to the variety of the show. There's not a dull moment. I mean, it gets slow sometimes, but it's not dull. You kind of pace yourself because it's Rajasthan. I mean, the pace can't be too far. So I think the story is made that perspective as well, trying to keep it a little simple. Don't overdo it, don't underdo it. And the last thing that I want to say is that as of today, on January 1, 2024, when you check the rating of Shehar Lakhot, it is 6.7 on IMDb. I do not think the rating reflects what the show really is. It definitely deserves more credit. If I had to give a rating, I mean, this could be 8 out of 10 on IMDb. To me, it was definitely a very intriguing, interesting show. Every day in the evening, I would look forward to watching it, and I think everyone from Priyanshu to the other actors, the lead, the directors, everyone has done a very good job in this show. So that's my conclusion, guys. Hope you enjoyed the review. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Until then, this is Sidharth Kumar from Review Magic. Bye bye.